So President Joe Biden was talking at the National Prayer Breakfast. I didn't even know that that existed until recently. And check out what he said in regards to Mitch McConnell. This is the true embodiment of the phrase, "It's a big club and you ain't in it."
Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, but we really are friends. And that is not an epiphany we're having here at the moment. You've always done exactly what you've said. You're a man of your word, and you're a man of honor. Thank you for being my friend.
Wow. Wow. Democratic President Joe Biden singing the praises, calling him his friend, saying that he has honor, man of his word, saying all this stuff to Republican Senator, House Minority or Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now, I don't need to get into specifics, but Mitch McConnell is no man of his word. Mitch McConnell is no man of honor. He's none of those things. Oh, and by the way, the same for Joe Biden. He's not a man of his word either. He's not a man of honor. None of these people are. But that's why I wanted to make this video, because as I stated before I played the video, it's a big club and you ain't in it. Let me explain something to you. When these politicians have these debates and you see these videos or maybe on social media of them jawing and going at each other and calling each other names and all that, it's all theatrics is what it is, okay? And it really, and mainstream media helps them do this, of course, with the endless nonsense propaganda that they put out in front of your faces all day, every day. But they make it seem like you have to choose a side. So either you go Democrat or you go Republican. And it's the left versus the right. And that's what this fight is all about. And whoever wins. No, it's not actually. That's not what the fight is. And in this video, and I'll be short here, hopefully you walk away with the sentiment knowing that that's false. The fight is actually basically what they outlined in Occupy Wall Street. It's the 1% versus the 99%. This is a class war, is what we're experiencing, okay? It's the owner class versus the working class. The majority of people versus the minority of people. That's what this is all about. And all of these politicians that are in Congress that pretend like they're against each other, that are taking money from the military-industrial complex, big pharma, the health insurance companies, and the big CEOs and everybody else they're receiving, in many cases, millions of dollars from, they're all in the same pool together, okay? Now, the funny thing is, Joe Biden or Mitch McConnell, they'll come out and they'll criticize each other next week and make it seem like they're, stark enemies. That's not the case at all. These guys will always come together. The politicians, not them specifically, but they're included, they will always come together to do what? To screw you, to screw the people, to not provide to you universal health care, to not allow people to go into insurmountable debt for seeking a higher education. They're not going to come together to raise wages. They're not going to come together to bolster unions, to bolster democracy in the workplace. They're not going to come together to end the endless wars and occupations. Joe Biden just authorized a raid that apparently killed ISIS leader in Syria. But what they also didn't tell you is that they killed several women and children along in that raid. And who's to say they even got the ISIS leader? They're not coming together outraged about the fact they just killed innocent civilians. Whenever there's a drone strike and it kills innocent civilians in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever it is that these things happen, they never come together to condemn that, but they'll come together to relish in the fact that they're still squeezing millions of people across this country out of their money, out of pretty much everything they own through what they call in other places austerity, okay? Which is a form of politics that all of these people have signed on to. Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, all the rest of them, okay? So moral of the story here is, And I mean, I love that video. Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, as if his reputation can be hurt more than it already is among the people. See, they live in this bubble where Mitch McConnell to Joe Biden has a pretty good reputation, but among the people, he's hated. But they don't care about what the people think. There was this study that was done by Princeton University that I made a video on relatively recently. The study was done, I believe, years ago, that public opinion virtually has zero impact on the law that gets passed in this country. Once again, signaling the fact that there's this club that the vast majority of us aren't a part of. We're excluded. We don't get asked about specific things that affect us. These people make the decisions. And since I'm bringing up Princeton, I might as well cite the Rand Corporation study. The Rand Corporation did a study where they calculated that the top 1% has effectively stolen $50 trillion from the bottom 90%. $50 trillion. We're being robbed, literally. Whereas if the redistribution of wealth has stayed consistent from the middle of the 1970s to now, every American in this country would be $1,144 richer every month for the rest of their lives. And it's funny because people love to phrase it as a redistribution of wealth. There is no redistribution here. They're thieves. They're stealing. That's what this is. What people call a redistribution of wealth, I look at as just putting things back the way they were, or at the very least should be. You've always done exactly what you said. You're a man of your word, and you're a man of honor. This guy genuinely feels that way, man. But look, this isn't a fight of left versus right. Of course, there will be disagreements among people about whether it be strategies, different policies, what you think is effective, what you think works, what kind of society you think we should work towards. But there's one thing that will always ring true. You, who may be a Democrat or Republican, and your neighbor, who may identify as the opposite of whatever political party you affiliate yourself with, have way more in common with each other than you do with whatever political leader it is of the party that you subscribe to or may not subscribe to, that being Joe Biden or Mitch McConnell. This isn't a fight of left versus right necessarily. The fight is a long class line. There's a class war going on here. And it's been going on for decades now. And it really ramped up after the 1970s. Okay? That video was a true embodiment of the phrase, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And I think Joe Biden just put that on display for everybody to see.